Hello friends, welcome back to the ASP.NET Core video tutorial. In today's video tutorial, we are going to see how we can configure or host our ASP.NET Core web application on Windows services. We are also going to see how we can host or publish our ASP.NET Core web application on IIS. Okay, so in this current video tutorial, we are going to see only for the Windows Windows Service hosting. So without wasting time, let's flip to the Visual Studio. Okay, so here I'm gonna create a separate new project with the default settings, and we'll try to host that application on Windows services. Okay, so just create application, select ASP.NET Core web application, and provide the name Windows Service Hosting. Click create, select the web application with the ASP.NET Razor pages. I'm not gonna use configure HTTPS as there's not a certification installed on my laptop. Okay, the project is created. Just take a look to the starter.cs file. Okay, so here we have few things like statics, use routing, use authorization. Everything is looking good. And then just take a look to the program.cs because we are going to modify the program.cs file. Okay, so before starting, I would like to open up the infologs.in website where we have published an article for the hosting of ASP.NET Core application in Windows services. Okay, so I have already opened up that article. So we are going to follow all the steps from these articles and try to see whether we can host with this configuration or not. Okay, if you feel this article is good, so please share it on your social media platforms. Okay, so first of all, what we are going to do is, so there are some configurations, project level configuration that we have to add in our project file. Okay, so here you can see that we have to provide a runtime identifier. Okay, why we need to provide this runtime identifier? Okay, one more thing that I would like to tell you, on this Infologs YouTube channel we are going to discuss each and every part of the programming. Okay, so we are not going to go like hey, this is the configuration, just copy all this and put in your project so it will work fine. No, that's not the right way to write the programs or understand the programs. Okay, whatever we are going to do, we'll understand it, why we need to do that, and then we are going to go further on that point. Okay, so coming back to the runtime identifier, why we need to put this runtime identifier in our project. Okay, so if you know that we are going to host this application as Windows service, and Windows services as ASP.NET Core is a cross-platform, so we have to specify that we are going to host this application on Windows services. That's why we have to provide the runtime identifier Windows 7 or whatever the identifier you just go for the Microsoft website and you'll find the what are different runtime identifiers for different. Okay, so here we are going to specify that we are going to host this application on Windows computers. Okay, as a Windows services. For that, just double click on your Windows service hosting. Under the property group, specify the Win7 because the Windows services concept is only available in Windows computers, not on Mac OS and other stuff. Okay, now first step is complete. Let's go to the article back. Okay, so for hosting, we have to include one NuGet package called Microsoft.ASP.NET Core hosting.windows services. Okay, for that, what I am going to do is just right click on your project and then select the manage NuGet packages. make sure you should click on browse and then try to search for Windows Services ASP.NET Core. Okay, just select the first Microsoft.asp.core hosting Windows Services. Select the appropriate stable version. So while I'm recording this video tutorial, so there is a 3.1.1 stable version. So click on OK. The license agreement that is accepted, and just wait for a few moments. It will get automatically installed. Yep, it's installed. Okay, so one more thing that I would like to install that I need. Okay, so I'll not do that right now. We'll do it later whenever it comes to in the picture. Okay, so now go back to the. Okay, so here running the application, there are a few configuration that we need to do. Okay, so I'll just copy this section of code into the verse. Okay, so I'll explain whatever we include the code in our project. Okay, so better I'll include everything, so we'll discuss all at once. Okay, so just paste it, and the last same thing is don't need to do this. Okay, so just put it this way. Run as service, this will come from the latest package that we have installed via NuGet. Just click import. Web host that is available in ASP.NET Core. Streaming that is in system.io. Process that is diagnostics. Everything is perfect. Okay, so use .startup. I'll use startup class. Oops. Startup class. Okay, I think there is some mistake in. Yep, there is a mistake. There should be a startup class. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the first line. So here, what we are checking, the debugger is attached or not. Okay, so why we need to do this kind of code, like debugger is attached, or we're checking whether that service is argument is available or not. Okay, if you are watching my video tutorials, in earlier video tutorials we have discussed that whenever we create a new application, especially ASP.NET Core, it runs as a console application. Okay, so here we can pass the arguments from the startup exe file. So we are checking whether this is running as a service or is running as a hosted application. Like let's say I'm running it from IIS Express, or I can also run it from the IIS. Okay, at that time this argument will not available. Okay, so what we are understanding here, because let's say I'm running it from the IIS Express. Okay, so at that time I don't need to all this configuration to work. Okay, so I'm just wanted to run my normal application whenever I debug or just accessing it from the IIS. Okay, but at the time let's say I have hosted this application in Windows Services. At that time I need an entry point. Okay, so I need that check whether the application is running for Windows Services or from the IIS. So I'll decide based on this argument. Okay, if the argument is available in the main method, so I'll say that service is available, this call is coming from the service. Okay, so if the service is there, then there are few configurations that I have to mention. Okay, so there are few things that we have to take care. Configuration file, so I'll just okay, so let's understand this. Okay, so we are configuration for the service, so we understand this service is true. So I'll take the current directory, and then we'll go for the arguments. Actually I don't need these kind of arguments over here. Okay, So whatever the argument is coming from the above, we'll directly pass it to the here. Okay, so that way we don't need this. Okay, so here port number. Second thing is, we will take the name of current exe file and we'll find the directory of the root path where our application resides, or we can say where in which directory the exe is available. Okay, we'll create an application JSON path. Okay, so here the application JSON file comes into the picture. Okay, so if you go to the appsettings.json file, here we wanted to read this file. Why we wanted to read this file? Okay, so I don't want to make a fixed port for my application. Okay, let's say currently a default port is 5000. Okay, so but whenever my service starts, I wanted some configurations. On that configurations, based on the configuration, my service should run on particular port. So for that, what we are going to do is we'll mention an entry in appsettings.json as a service port, and here I'll put it whatever the configuration is. So let's say I wanted to run on a different port, so I'll just change the port in my configuration file and then restart the service, and then our application should be port to the new port, right? So that's why we have this we wanted to take a path of this appsettings.json. Okay, and for that we have checked whether the file is exist or not, and if exist, just read that file using the stream reader, and then pass all the data to the JSON as the file is JSON file. And we wanted to, okay, to read this JSON, we wanted to use the NuGet package called newtonsoft.json. So just click find and install. It will get find and installed and automatically import the namespace to the program.cs file. Just okay, it's done. Okay, so if the port service port is available, sorry, not equal to null, that means we got the key in JSON file, we are reading it and assigning it to the port number variable. So here if we faced some issue while reading this JSON file, so I'll put a default port number that will be 5001, and that port number will be passed to the use URL. This is the port number. Okay, so our whole application will configure on this port. Okay, and what are the other things that we are going to pass to our web host? That is just content root. What is the default directory of our project? The default startup file that is already configured. This one for the default when I run the application from IIS Express. Okay, what will be the default URL for your application, and then build and then run as service. Okay, this is coming from that NuGet package that we have already added to our project. Okay, so everything looks good. So let's build the project and let's see if we are facing any issues or not. Okay, so project is built successfully. So I'll go to this path. Okay, so project is successfully built. So what I'll do is just double click on your project, that exe. Okay, and it will tell you that the application is listening on HTTPS 5000. Okay, so what I'll do, I think I missed something more. Startup. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so whenever we double click this exe, it will run in a independent mode. Okay, so localhost 5000 is configured by default. So I'll go here and try to access localhost :5000. Okay, so application is running, right? So okay, application is running, but it is not giving the proper UI. So I'll will discuss it later. What is the issue behind it? Okay. Now this is the debug. Okay, just keep in mind this is the debug section, right? So I'll now create a service. Now we have to host our application in a Windows service. So next thing is firing and command. Okay, or we can go for the creation of Windows services. So just launch your command prompt in the run as administrator mode, and here we'll type a command called sc create ASP.NET Windows service, and then okay, this is the most important part, that is bin path equals to, and then you have to specify the space. If you don't specify the space, the command will not execute properly. Okay, or under the double quote you have to paste that path, and under that what is our exe, that is Windows service hosting.exe, and then we have to pass that service argument. Okay, this is the command line argument to our exe. So whenever we pass this exe or we launch this exe, so this service argument will get passed to our main method, so will come in this argument. Okay, and in this argument we are checking, hey, is there any service command or service element available in this array? If yes, then we are saying this is coming from service, so all the service related configuration will be done, otherwise our application will be run as it is. Okay, so command is written, so just press enter. Perfect, service is created, and just run the services.msc. so you will see the ASP.NET Windows service available here. Okay, so if you go to the properties, you'll see the full path of your exe with the command service, okay, with the argument service, right? So now what we are going to do is just start the service. For the starting of the service, you can do it from here as well. So here, where is our ASP? Yeah, you can click on the start button, or you can go ahead and type the command sc start ASP.NET Windows service, whatever the name of the service is. Okay, and just click on enter. Okay, the service is started, so just refresh it. Okay, where is the service, man? Okay, just again go back to the ASP. Yeah, the service is started. So if you go ahead and see, our application is stopped, it's not running. So what I'll do, I'll go to the browser and try to access that localhost. What was the port? Our port was let me go to the project 5009. Okay, so that means when we try to read this service port, we didn't get that new port, so by default it should go for 5001. So let's go ahead and check that 5001. Perfect. Okay, so now our application is hosted on 5001. Okay, we faced some issue while reading this JSON file. Okay, and one thing that I would like to show you, that our exes reside under the folder called win7x64. so here we should see that appsettings.json. okay, oh, one thing that I would forget, actually we have to mention this port under the development app setting JSON file as well. Okay, as our environment is development environment, so the ASP.NET Core framework will read the configuration from this file. Okay, so what I'll do is, again, so I'll go to the services, refresh it, and stop this Windows services, and again start this service. So now it should reflect the latest thing. So I'll try to access 5001. So it's still working on 5001. So 5009 it's not finding. Okay, so not an issue, we'll try to resolve that. But before that, what we want to do is just go to the 5001, and the UI is not proper. So what we should do for the UI? Okay, so if you see, this is our debug section. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll go to the Visual Studio, and then right click over here and publish my application. Okay, just select your folder, create profile. Okay, and what is the profile? Under the edit section, it will be the settings, framework dependent, portable. Okay, so make it default and just click on publish button. So it will publish your project to that specified folder. So just wait for a few seconds. Okay, published successful. So that is under the release folder. So I'll just copy this whole thing. I'll stop the service because now I have to change the path of that exe, right? Which path of exe? So if you see this path, this is path from coming from the debug section. So now we have to set it to the release folder. Okay, for that I have to drop this, or we can say delete this ASP net Windows service. Service is deleted. Just refresh it. Perfect, the service is not available anymore. Okay, so now again I'll go to the same command and I'll replace the new one. Just paste it and then select the Windows exe and then -- service and then hit enter. The service is created again. So now again let's see. Yep, service is there, and I'll click on the start button. Oops, it's taking a little bit more time. Oh yeah, that's fine. Let's create it. Now let's go back to the 5001. What happened? Then release, Win 7, and then DLL. That's perfectly fine. Okay, let me go back to the project. So here 5001 port is there, and what is the configuration? Launch settings. Oh, we don't need this SSL port. Okay, there is a 5000 and IS Express, that is for the IS Express. Okay, so we are not running for the IS Express. Perfect. And oh god, yep, we made a mistake. Actually the configuration file. Okay, what is the configuration file? That app is the settings.json. Okay, we should specify the configuration file name, but that we didn't. Okay, so now what I'll do, I'll publish it again on the same path. So service will pick the same exe from the same location. So again click on publish. So on this YouTube channel we are doing on live things. we are not taking a predefined example, so we'll try to run this. Oops, one thing that I have to do is stop the service, because the service is already accessing that exe. See, these kind of issues we are facing, so you should know how to resolve these kind of issues. So as soon as I see I couldn't copy the new exe on the particular locations, so you should get kicked in your mind that hey, something is fishy and we are not able to copy because the services or exe is already running. That's why. Okay, it's simple. So you'll learn this kind of things from the one only from Infologs YouTube channel. Okay, so we are facing the same issues again. So now we have to think it about it is being used. Okay, so what I'll do, the service ASP, make sure it's still it's not. Let's stop it. Perfect. And now I'll clean the project, so the thing will be get worked out. And now click on publish. So again the exe will be published on same location. Okay, got it. The location is not same because we have to go further under the publish folder. So if we go here, properties, so there should be a publish folder, release Windows. Yeah, okay, again we have to drop this service, delete, refresh, service is deleted successfully. And now we'll properly take whole path from C drive to publish folder. Okay, so just go ahead and open up that publish folder. So now we have everything. Okay, so just copy this path and sc create bin path equal space, right click, paste, and then oops, it's a very big name, so Windows publish Windows, not dot, it's Windows service. What the hell? Publish Windows service, WINDOWS, WINDOWS, Windows devices, global graphics. Okay, just put the name as it is, Windows SCREICE service sting hosting dot exe dash dash service, double quote over, and just hit enter. Okay, so service is created, so just cross check the path. ASP net Windows service properties, just copy this path, just remove this exe, Windows C, run, folder is folder is perfect, so Windows service hosting. Okay, so now just run this service again, click on start. So now I think we should use that new port, whatever we mentioned in ASP. Okay, the service is started, so I'll try to access the new port, localhost colon 5009, and hit enter. Okay, so everything is working fine. Congratulate to me. Yeah. Okay. So now, why the CSS and all that information was not loaded in the debug section? Okay, if you see, all the files and everything is available under the different folder, and if you are running the Windows services, we are telling services that hey, this is my root folder, so take it all the details from this root folder. Okay, and this is the code for the same. Yeah. Okay, so part for the root content that we are getting from the exe name and all that stuff, that's why the UI was not rendering properly. Okay, and after the publishing, so we get all the details on the same root directory. Okay, under the publish section, if you go over here, this is the published directory. Okay, so go to the www, all the css and js was available here, right? So this is how we can publish our application to the Windows services. Okay, so what will be the use cases for using these Windows services? Okay, so let's say my application, I want there is a web application and I wanted to use that or install that application on my premises. Okay, so for that, if you say you are restricted to use the IIS, I don't want to use IIS. Okay, why? Because there will be the maintenance, there I have to maintain the server, security, all the stuff that I have to manage myself. Okay, installing the IIS is maintaining it, updations and all that stuff. Okay, so now what I'll do, the other way is very simple. Just go and create a Windows services, provide the security settings that we are already doing it. Okay, and just host your application on particular port. Okay, oh yeah, on the from the port, we'll remember that under the publish we have some app setting, that JSON file that was allowing us to change port for our application. So if you notice, our application was running under the 5009, so I'll change the port and restart the service, and we'll check whether that takes effect or not. Okay, I'll set it to 5004 now. Okay, so just go to the service, refresh it. Where is my service? I get lost that service every time. Yeah, got it. So just restart it. Perfect. Now I'll try to access the 5009. The service was removed, and try to access 5004. It is up and running perfectly, right? So this is how the Windows services most easiest way to host your ASP.NET Core web application with ease, just by adding a simple NuGet package, that is Microsoft dot, what was that? I don't remember anything. Yeah, you'll see that all the dependencies of your project under the dependencies packages, that is Microsoft ASP.NET Core hosting Windows services, right? So this is all from this video tutorial. Thank you for watching, and yes, I'll definitely tell you that if you like this video tutorial, just hit the thumbs button, hit the like button, and subscribe this YouTube channel. And whatever your suggestions, whatever your comments, if you have any queries, we are there. You just put a comment, or you want to send an email to us, you just send it on info@infologs.in. Okay, or you can go ahead and use the Gmail ID, that was webboostings@gmail.com. Okay, so here you can see the screens from the next and previous video tutorials, and there will be a full ASP.NET Core playlist you can watch throughout, and there is right hand side of, you can just click on that and subscribe this channel. Thank you for watching. This is Abhishek Bedri signing off. See you in the next video, where we are going to learn how can we host our application in IIS. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.